Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. Today, in this magnificent day, I would like to talk about something very depressing for many people, which is hair loss. This affects mainly males, but also sometimes women too. Now, I know that there has been a lot of debate about what causes hair loss. It is the 5-alpha reductase enzyme that converts testosterone into something. It is an excess of testosterone that overwhelms the receptors, the androgenic receptors in the scalp. Many hypotheses, many things that are just very strange, because when you apply these attempts to explain hair loss or balding in general to, for example, Native American tribes, of which we have recent documentation in the 1800s, when there were already photos or cameras, right, photographic devices. We can see clearly that they are very well developed, and thus they have had a very substantial, very high amount of testosterone in their bodies, and they don't have any male pattern of balding. Okay, they have perfect hairlines, and they don't show any kind of balding symptoms. Their hair is thick, and they have the whole hairline perfectly set as originally they were born with. So this kind of testosterone alpha reductase enzymes that converts into some other byproducts is partially true, but not the cause at all. Now, the real cause of male balding is industrial toxins. You are polluted inside, and thus you have many contaminants, pollutants inside you that with time, with the natural will of the body to detoxify, this detoxification process hurts and damages the scalp and tissues. Now, we're going to be more precise now. Back in the day, even Europeans had a full set of hair. They didn't have much balding 100 years ago. When you see the pictures, you see a group of men posing, or the picture. For the photograph, they had full head of set, a full head of hair. So the point is that then in the 1800s, even a bit before, the Industrial Revolution was starting to expand a lot, and they didn't have much exposure to the toxic world that was coming. But with time and generations especially, these toxins have accumulated. Not only that, but they have covered the whole world the whole civilized world and even the wildest places on this planet. So now, to be concrete, the most dangerous toxins that are affecting your scalp are conductive metallic chemicals coming from the industry, the industrial complex, and especially of the medical pharmaceutical complex. I don't want to get too deep into that in this platform, but there are certain things that enter in our bodies from early age that come to the brain, and these metallic chemicals stay there. Okay? That is the main reason of balding. I don't want to give more details about that, but it's something that 99% of the civilized people have in their bodies. Now, having said that, balding is basically caused by the detoxification of heavy metals. The brain is always trying to detoxify those metals, those metallic and conductive chemicals or particles, to the closest place that it has. And this is the gums, the ears, the eyes, the skin, your face skin in general, the lips, and of course and foremost, the scalp. Now, the brain is detoxifying these, and these are causing mayhem on your scalp. The extraction of this mercury, aluminum, barium, and more particles through the scalp are causing a caustic and corrosive reaction on it, and this causes tensions and inflammation and a very toxic environment for the cells, the tissues, and the hair follicles to survive. Alright? So this is what in short time miniaturizes the hair follicles, and eventually you lose hair. Alright? That is the main cause. Now we're going to talk about the second cause, which is closely related, but it has a certain a specific movie for itself, and it is nutrition. Most people, let's say 95% of the human population, is nowadays not nourishing properly, and thus the body doesn't have enough primary nutrients to restore and maintain or even grow, let alone grow new follicles or the existing follicles. So without protein of great quality, you can't maintain your hair. Your scalp will not deliver nutrients to the follicles or to your hair, and it will simply shrink. It will be less bright, it will lose color, it will turn slowly gray, although these things are also related to the first cause. And I will say something important a bit later that has to be mentioned, which is in fact the third cause. The third cause is lack of oxygen. Oxygen is what makes these cells breathe, and ideally it is red blood cells that transport this oxygen. Now, related to the first cause and also second, which actually makes a whole body of explanation, it all comes together. Oxygen is basically extracted from the atmosphere and transported through the body via the red blood cells. Now, because our bodies are jammed, are saturated with toxins, because it's hard to see. Of course, you don't look at your arm and say, oh, I'm saturated of toxins. You see through your quality of your skin, the look in your eyes, of course the quality of your hair and so on, but there's no numerical indicator, of course, but it's there. The poisoning is inside your body. All right, now you are so saturated that now red blood cells, whose main job is to transport oxygen, are going to transport toxins. If they transport toxins, they do not transport oxygen. And thus the explanation that some give correctly, that the hair is lacking oxygen, it's true. But we have to understand the root cause of it. It's because our red blood cells are not acting as they should anymore. They are not giving oxygen to the cells. They are delivering or transporting toxins, chemicals, molecules that need to be surrounded and arrested so that they don't damage the other tissues or living cells. All right? So there you go. And now you may say, well, if 5% of red blood cells are not acting correctly, I have a deficiency of 5%, it's not a big deal. Well, it's not a 5%. It is, if you're lucky, a 50%. So you are living, just to abstract a bit, at 50% your possibilities with that amount of toxins inside you and that low efficiency of conversion of oxygen. Oxygen is what makes you feel exhilarated, energetic, joyful, you know. When you lack oxygen, you are sleepy, you want to lay down and take a nap, you know, all the time. That is why most people are exhausted today, and some other reasons. But going back to the main question of the hair, your hair is feeling the same. Your hair cannot sustain its own life with that little amount of oxygen. Now, how to correct, how to regrow your hair? First of all, I want to mention somebody that is quite clever and has figured out a good way to combat this male problem mainly. And he is called in YouTube invert age. He is a clever guy who figured out that the more blood to your scalp, the better hair quality, and thus the more prone to regrowth and repair of your hair you're going to be. I want to mention him because that's a good way to nourish your scalp again. You basically have to invert yourself, put your head down and your feet up so that the blood accumulates mostly in your head. You do this for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Not too much, but you will give daily an extra boost to your scalp and your hair. Now, does this fix the problem, the root cause of the problem? No, but it is a good start. Okay, in fact, it's part of the procedure to recover your hair. Now, the direct approach, apart from this, is to arrest the poisons that come out from your brain through the scalp. How do we do that? You have to fatten up, you have to gain weight and gain body fat. First, I will talk separately in another video about this, but fat is your best friend. Fat is what's going to trap all the toxins in the body, okay? When you want to go through a detoxification process, you need to gain weight, gain body fat, so that your body is protected. You have to fatten up first, but second, you have to rub fat on your scalp. Alright? You need to clean your scalp and protect it. With the same principle, fat always will protect you, lubricate you, and give you energy. But focusing on the protection, you need to literally rub the fat all over your head, but especially deep into the scalp, and then the fat molecules will trap the poisons, the heavy metals coming out from your scalp. It will neutralize them, and not only that, but it will heal the caustic environment that those poisons have created now. Okay? That is a direct approach, and we will say that it's the second. Also, now you would need to eat well. Alright? You need to stop eating inflammatory things. You have to cut down completely the consumption of vegetable carbohydrates. The only carbs that you want to eat in the right way are honey and milk, all raw and pasteurized and pure without any kind of chemicals, never frozen. Alright, those are the only carbs that you should eat in quote-unquote bigger amounts compared to fruits or other carbs coming from the vegetable world. Okay? Now, but apart from that, you want to eat a lot of protein and a lot of fat, always raw from the animal kingdom. Okay, that's what's going to give you the nutrients and the protection coming from fat. Okay, the building blocks or the bricks will be given by the raw protein of the animal, and the fat is what's going to protect you and lubricate you. It's going to take away the dryness of your hair, and it's going to give energy also to the cells as well as protection. So that is basically it. Now we have a deeper understanding of hair loss. To wrap up this knowledge, basically hair loss is caused by the heavy metals coming from the industrial and pharmaceutical complex, and also from the contaminants located in our food sources. And to truly reverse hair loss, we have to protect our scalps with fat. We have to boost the blood flow into our head temporarily with headstands or inversion, and we have to give the nutrients to basically be able to not only maintain but to rebuild what has been destroyed, basically. I want to mention something too, and it's that cleaning your hair, this goes along with the first approach, which is basically protecting your scalp and your hair, but cleaning your hair from the air pollutants every day is going to help a lot too. Okay, cleaning it not with harsh chemicals, but with natural foods like eggs. Eggs are a very good way to clean your hair. They are better, yes, but they are very convenient because you just crack them, you pour them in a glass, you stir them, and you create a primal shampoo. And with this you will clean very well your scalp and also your whole hair. Alright, I hope that this has given you the introduction or the basis to truly understand hair loss. It's not natural, it's a man-made issue, it's an industrial and pharmaceutical made issue. Okay, we are not supposed to bald as long as we are truly healthy and clean inside. So thank you very much for watching. Try to follow these guidelines, and I'm sure that your hair health will dramatically improve. If you have further questions, feel free to ask me, and have a marvelous day.